commander under attack.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to my Thursday afternoon stream of Supreme Commander. Maybe one of my last times to stream it, actually. We'll see how good I can find the skirmishes, and then I'll decide whether I can't or can't, whether I will or will not continue playing it a lot. And Drag, welcome in and congratulations on a 60 stream watch streak. Thank you very much for being here so regularly. And also, thank you very much for your generosity in general. It is very much appreciated. Thank you for both being here and for being so generous. Okay. Let's get this up. Again, this is a screen capture. And I almost forgot everybody who's here, and Drag included. I hope you're having a good Thursday so far and that you can be looking forward to more of a great Thursday to come. I am happy to hear that you are now much better with no headaches and not feeling sick anymore. That is very much an improvement that I am happy for. Okay. I'll give myself one skirmish to get started. I am very happy to hear that, and it is definitely good that you are feeling so much better. But I can imagine that it has been annoying for you to cancel your stuff last minute because you weren't feeling good. So I can absolutely understand that you don't like it. And I am happy that it now has become unnecessary again. Okay, I'm going to be adding... So I see 4 starting locations, not 6. M28 easy. Just trying to get in properly before jumping into the ladder queue. I hope that finding matches is going to be as easy as it was in StarCraft. For now, let's warm up. How is Reclaim looking? There's some Reclaim groups here. Yeah.
You've got no chance against me.
Don't worry about it from my side. I can absolutely understand how, when you're not feeling good, that you have to cancel stuff last second. It happens to me, even if I don't like it, because of my migraines I can get. And that is also not something I'm very enjoying, very much enjoying if it happens. But there's not much you can do, and you just have to take these things as they come, even if you are personally quite annoyed. Okay, I want you to hoover here. I'll be taking these two bots over to go have a look. Energy is looking fine. I have that nagging voice in my back that I might want to get more used to the maps. The issue is that while I am not used to the maps, I'm also not as used to the game as I might like. Let's do this like this, I guess. Bump, bump, bump. Let's pull our commander further forward. You are going to go over there. Okay. Quite a few land factories here already. You go hoover that, please. And then come over here. And I very much do have the resources to upgrade a little bit here. Let's add an air factory. We'll be taking the stuff here along with us. The units we are spamming out. We'll be taking along with us. I do want a little bit more power. I thought I had defeated them here. Okay, I go do a few more here together with another factory. And that spam is not looking bad. One of them here is now definitely upgraded. Very good. I can just take the next one. Let's have some more units moving forward. Some more absorption going on here. We have a flyer.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
Okay, I do need to bring more up here. Let's not forget to keep adding stuff if possible. Commander is still actually looking quite okay. Okay, he's pulling back. I'll be
Under attack.
pushing a little bit more here. Give me some bombers as well.
Commander under attack.
Getting a little bit too much, but my own units are coming up. Feel free to ask and I'll answer to the best of my ability. Okay, whoops, that's going to go badly now. Okay, sheesh. Have the feeling I'm doing something very wrong. You can currently afford a Stream Deck should you buy one. That's a legitimate question. One that is not easily answered. Yeah, fair enough, but since you are asking, you're not sure if it is an expense that you should be going for. They can, of course, be very useful. My question, I think, would be, do you have moments where you feel like you would have needed one? Where having something where you can just push a button to make something happen that is not on your keyboard would have been useful? or did you have functions that you couldn't map onto your keyboard that you would have found very useful to have accessible at that very moment? If you're answering as you did in the positive, then it would be then it is going to be something that is coming in handy. If it is something where you haven't had that problem yet, then I don't think it's quite yet the time to buy one. So, but if you felt like you had those moments, then it's going to be coming in handy, and as such, it's going to be a used and useful investment for you for your streams and everything. Fair enough. But even when I was streaming Elite, I didn't feel like I had not enough. But I can very personally that I didn't have enough to. That I didn't have a monitor real estate, yes. But so far I managed to get everything, even including my stream stuff, onto the keyboard, and don't necessarily feel like I need to have a stream deck. Until recently, when I started muting myself a few dozen times and I realized that may be the moment I need to think about getting myself one. Because, yeah, I don't have really a button I can put it to that is not going to have a side effect somewhere else. And yeah, so here we go. Hopefully I'll be getting matched with somebody, but there is not much activity, unfortunately. I really enjoy... Okay, that's going to be maybe a little bit weird, but I really enjoy Supreme Commander. Fair enough, I am far less experienced PvP in it, and I just felt, even in this skirmish, how much more experience and how much more ingrained StarCraft has become. But this is an unfortunate... This is something where StarCraft, just by having at least hundreds of players, is going to be able to get me a match on the European server rather quickly, which I was actually surprised about. And then again, on the Korean server, should have one in seconds. There's going to be more delay, but I do hope that the ping is going to be fine. We need to remember that Brood War was published in the days of more random pings, where 800 millisecond, 900 millisecond ping wasn't unheard of as a standard ping. And while that was a little bit too much, I do think that a third of a second ping should be fine for StarCraft. And at least with the old server architecture, it worked. It didn't always happily work, but it did work, and that's the most important thing. Let's have the countdown tick down once more here. Yeah, you can say, well, You can argue that ping-wise, Supreme Commander then also should be fine. Fortunately, it's not the ping issue at the moment for Supreme Commander. If it were, there might be things you could try. Not sure how many of those things I haven't added onto my rules as standard already. I am pretty strict with priority for games and so on through my router or router. You're calculating a route. It's a router. Okay. I thought I had tried to create a game. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to go with another M28. Let's go M28 easy once more. Let's see how that works out. It's not a bad AI. So from that point of view, it does better than StarCraft's AI probably ever will. But that doesn't mean it's perfectly able to one-to-one recreate the feeling of playing against a human. But I am playing against another UEF.
It's time for this to get serious.
Which is actually good, even though I'm a little bit surprised. I think I do want this one to be the first one accessed. I have 3, that's good. Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a mess. But we are getting a few more engineers afterwards as well. Okay, that is finally a little bit more stable here. But I do think that I do want to add a few more. Here, I'll be pulling you through this gap. You please go do these 2. And the next engineer is going to take care of the hydrocarbon plant. And I'll have the last engineer go about to capture these mexes over here. Hop, hop, hop. I do need to immediately push more units out. Can you come over here and... You know, there we are. That's more what I want to see. No, I wanted you to take these up. Those hits are unfortunately not what I'm actually really looking for. I probably have to do something similar along this axis as well. Okay, build me another one here. I'm a little bit behind on most of my stuff here. You just got a game you haven't played in a decade. Those are always very interesting. I'm wondering what you did get. Down. Hoover, please. Ooh, binary domain. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Hello, Tierra. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a good Thursday so far. And that you can be looking forward to more of a great Thursday to come. Okay, we do have some stuff coming over from here, attacking my engineers. Okay, they are trying to squeeze units through there. Let's just go build some air here as well. And of course they're coming from down there as well. Yeah, and they're coming there's engineers coming over that way as well. I think in this gap up here, the commander so far is decent as defense, but
Commander under attack.
yeah, I'm already starting to get pressured from here. And the commander is more going to be plugging the middle. Okay, I can push this a little bit stronger. Let's see if I can basically counter push a little bit here.
Commander under attack. Under attack.
Okay, I'm not happy with the outcome exactly here. How's my commander looking?
Commander under attack.
Yeah, and I'm not unhappy with Commander getting some pressure here. Do I have? I do. The destruction of my spy planes here is putting me
Commander under attack.
under some pressure. Okay, that's going to be painful rather quickly. Why haven't I rebuilt that mechs here?
Commander under attack.
No, I can't stay here.
Commander under attack.
What the? That's T2 units. That was a T2 unit coming out of there. And he has a ton more land factories than I do. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be surviving that.
Commander under attack.
Stingerman, hello. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good Thursday so far and that you can be looking forward to more of a great Thursday to come. Total mass produced. Okay. I am doing fine. Thank you very much for asking. The AI is kicking my butt, though. To a degree, I do need to get just a bit better here. And that's fine. I lasted a little bit longer than last time. Let me just go through here rather quickly. In principle, the AI shouldn't be cheating here. But I am stuck.
It's time for this to get serious.
I'm stuck with the same issue that I have complained about a few times already, that how the economy is being shown here doesn't work too well for how I think. Because that is storage and that is total and that okay. So far, so equal. Okay, slight differences in there, but That doesn't hugely feel different. There's no good way to pause these either, because if you do, you can't switch. Between the factions, so that is 7. That is 7. Equal so far. And I again moved too close to that. This is definitely going to be an issue. He has 2 more factories already finished. Let's take this moment for another comparison. So that is 9 versus 9. More factories early on, I think. Is what I need to pull from here. Can I move this up above this one? Connect the next one here. Because now with... Thank you. 7 factories versus 4, I'm very much at a disadvantage. And the AI is rolling me basically from here. Okay. At least 2 factories built by the commander. Let's see if I can get a match through matchmaking. I have 2 possible people I might get matched with. And that is a match for me. Let's see how it goes. I'm not expecting very much. I'm expecting to get defeated rather quickly. Nice, nice artwork here, though. Yeah, this should be an air factory. And I am playing against another UEF. Does this work? Perfect. That really works well. Give me a few engineers. Let's use these 2 a lot more like scouts. Although, something like this maybe. My opponent is sitting over there. The issue is pushing left and right. That movement may be a lot more limited in my head. Let's get some power off here. Okay, they are rather quick. Look, I'll use you to do something like this. You'll be my main scout. Don't want to lose you at all. Let's make another... Somewhere I am using far too much mass. Okay. Come on, you're an engineer. Okay, if I'm pushing the wrong button, of course it doesn't work. Let's push one engineer into the middle as well. And we are starting to get some units out here, please. Okay, we have some stuff here. And as I am pulling forward here, that should be working. Do I have an engineer that's not doing anything? Build me another factory, please. Let's push up to this engineer. I'll be pulling the commander over here. Okay. Let's push a little bit here. Okay, I am... One, two, and more combat coming up here. I do need more scouts here. Let me get another ground factory up. You can go do these. Very happy he's feeding a little bit here. Okay. Get out, not that I am going to be overrun here. Yeah, and I'm maybe a little bit unfair pushing everything through the middle here. Yeah, I do want the commander to go fetch a few more things there. Okay, the factories are all nicely building. You are going to be an upgrade immediately. Let's see if I can frighten him a little bit here. With quite a mass of units. And I have more coming up all the time. Okay, somewhere I'm producing...
Commander under attack.
Yeah, okay, that's a win.
Commander
That's a
under
victory for me. You're not getting out of this. You do want to try and get me, but... that was good. Okay. He did have an air factory here. I'm not seeing any air units though. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I still had too much mass, and one of them was upgrading though. Okay, let's have a look at that replay. That was good. That was good, and the graph, according to the graph, I was constantly better than my opponent here. I have 10 games played. I'm not sure why they are still counting as unlisted. Let's have a look. That's my replays, local replays. Why are you not up? Average rating, and there's only 72% quality. Yeah, that was pretty clear. Let's have a look. Still took 9 or 10 minutes in game time, which is a short StarCraft game in comparison. Okay. Small box can go away. I'll be taking a look at him. I remember what I was doing. Okay. Did I see that correctly? That is 5. Okay. Not sure what exactly that the discrepancy, where that discrepancy came from, but being ahead by almost twice your opponent's work in getting the first factory down is going to have knock-on effects that are going to be rather big. Because that means that I have my first engineers coming out that much sooner. He is putting some stuff down there. Haven't I given you orders yet? No, there come the orders. Okay. Yeah, there may only have been about 200 points between us. In ELO, but... Oh my, yeah, okay. That's unfortunately for Vazgon. Like... Yeah, I'm 1.5 bit more power generators basically ahead of him. Plus... Let's have a quick look. That is 3 engineers versus 3 engineers and 2 scouts. Yeah, okay, no, that's... And he's not really doing anything here. Whereas I'm like, okay, no, not sure where they're coming from. I think that was do these to matching factories for the extractors for the mexes there. Yeah, and I went down to 0 storage and then... Okay, I need mass here. And while that's not running perfect, it's working. Okay, so that killed the first scout there. He is still only slowly adding pigeons. If we slow it down and take a look at income. Okay, energy I'm surprisingly close. Or he's rather surprisingly close. 1, 2... He's missing 1 here. Those are mexes. Is it 20 by the ACU? Which would mean that I have basically 1 more P-gen. Surprisingly small difference. But there's a big difference in income. And he is still only building off a single factory. Whereas I have 2 working... Well, I have 1 working factory. No, okay, there comes the second one. Here is a third one that's currently not seemingly building anything. There we go. He does like to build the small bots here. And while they are not the worst, boom, boom, boom. That was a nice feed for my commander here. Putting some units out here. I do want to add some energy storage next time. Yeah, and then that engagement that I survived very well. Kills build ratio. Okay, that is now after I lost all of those. But even then, I have an army score of 11k. I'd be interested to see how the kill score varied. So he managed to kill... Okay, I have wasted some mass. He has wasted a lot more, though. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Let me... There we are. Holding a little bit better. Okay, currently nobody has time for me, unfortunately. Everybody's in a game. Shouldn't I get listed after the last one? Oh, we started a new season in which I've played only a single game. Okay. That is fair enough. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be finding anything. Let's lose to an quote-unquote easy AI again. I'm seeing that the system currently lists me at a minus 132 elo. That's a 700 elo gap to the AI in the way it is set up. Elo can vary weirdly. A lot of systems don't want to use a 0 elo, and as such they get the median elo higher up, maybe at a 2000 elo. Then you have 1500 up, 1500 down. I'm not sure exactly how it is set up. From what I've seen, can't even really tell. You can adjust the yellow to show in brackets as you want it. So not necessarily good or bad. Let's do it like this. 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2, and 1. Let's add like this. 1, 2, 3. Proper scouts. 1, 2. And I'll want to try to keep up more. With the opponent.
Humanity will be saved.
Okay. I am happy to hear that. Let's add some energy storage to that. You come over here, and then you come over here. Let's come down. 1, 2. Okay, as I'm going to take these, I do want more I do want more factories built. Let's come down here and set up another factory before we move into the middle with him. Okay, this area looks pretty free. Oh, there is some stuff on radar. Are you an engineer? Are you a combat unit? You're an engineer. That should allow me to play Ring Around the Rosies with that one. So far, so looking good. Well, damn it. You did get a few here. Let's see if I can do that. Bengium, thank you very much for the follow on Kick, and sorry for being late with it. We already have some more from over there. Meaning that I should be powering up a few more. Du, du, du. Let's take these, and we're building another factory with it. Send out a few more scouts and send the commander themselves out. No. Okay, I may not be completely fine, especially with the nastiness going on up here. Overcharge can now be automated.
Commander under attack.
Yeah, suboptimal, but can I upgrade another one here?
We'll fight you to the very end.
Commander under
Come on
attack.
down.
System enabled. Commander under attack.
Okay, I need much more down here. Come on back, come on back. Ooh, that's going to be close.
Commander under attack.
Damn it. I've been badly not using enough of my resources at the end as well. 1, 2, 3. So that's 5, and that is 7, 8 factories versus 5, 6 at the end. Not shabby, but I understand why I got overwhelmed. Okay, let's see if I can find a second match for today. That'd be great. Against the AI, I'm not going to be taking a deep look at why that didn't work out. I do hope to find a match. I managed to find a match before the game I just played, but I'm not finding a match right now. I'm going to give it another run, but currently it doesn't look like I got one. But I found one today, so I'm pretty happy about that. Even won that one, although I was outranking my opponent by quite a bit. Minus 132 elo for me versus, well, minus 342 or 52 for my opponent. I know of Valheim. I've tried out Valheim. Not really a game for me, I have to say. I enjoy factory builders like Factorio. Survival games, not that much, not really my cup of tea. I can really understand why people like them. It's not for me. Even Minecraft, I don't play very much. Yeah, not a game for me. But also, as I said, I can understand why people are enjoying it, and I'm happy for everybody who does enjoy them. Okay, we're probably not going to be getting a good match here, or a match at all. So let's try this as well. Give me a quick second. But yeah, if I look at similar games, Raft didn't interest me too much. Windrose. The survival aspect of it is just not something that is really for me. Even if I look at similar games, I have not as much interest in them. But everybody who is enjoying them, that is, I am happy for them. It's a genre of games that I can absolutely see that why people would enjoy them, but not really made for me. Maybe I haven't gotten into them properly. Maybe there is something there, but personally, I don't think so. Personally, I do think that I have given them a good try, and they turn out not to be for me. Okay, let's have a look here. I need to go into the options if I want to change them. I'm not sure. Okay. All default. But this is cheat. Oh, he can only give one order per second, and I'm still getting badly outmaneuvered by him. Okay, and that is something that is off by default. And I've been thinking about what exactly you mean with by that's fairer. I'm not quite getting there. Okay. This should be something that I can beat. To a degree, for me, that is the same thing. If I don't like them, they're not for me. But as always, I'm going to be... If not sure how I should put it at the moment. So we put you here and here. Here. No, actually, that's... Oh, that was correct. Hop. Hop, hop. Hop. Am I going to be pushing those a little bit closer? 1, 2, 3. Scouts, 1, 2. It may be... maybe if I directly say they're not for me, rather than I don't like them, it sounds... it can sound different. I can absolutely see that. For me, the result is, in a way, the same. Let's put you there. I think it may come from the fact that a lot of people, when they say that they don't like something, that they want it maybe even gone from that. It's a game that should have never been published. That is very far from even being close to how I feel like it should be said. I think you should be able to say, no, I don't like it as such, it's not for me. Rather than needing to worry that it's I can see it with how much negativity is empowered nowadays, that you could have that feeling that somebody who's open with disliking something is going to I seriously find it a weird... I seriously find it a little bit weird that people would think like that. I mean, to a degree... No, not even to a degree, to be honest. I think that... people disliking... personally disliking a few things does not mean that... I'm really trying to understand here how one might feel with that, and how that may come may come ahead, basically. Oh my. Okay, you're going to be building another one. And we do have enough resources that I do want to use up a little bit more here. I do need to remember that I am playing... that I'm not playing my normal versus, that I am playing UEF versus. Yeah. But I can see that there are people nowadays that take that immediately a step further and quote-unquote start hating on it, even if it is undeserved. But I don't think everything needs to be made for everybody. There should be things that are not for you. It should be such with games. It should be such with movies. That there are just things that are not for you, and that is fine, and that should be remembered, that it's fine, rather than yeah, it definitely feels like that there are some people who have some issues with how stuff is made and not made for them, if that makes sense. Okay, my commander is coming from the back there.
Under attack.
I mean, there are many people who dislike Souls-like games for their difficulty and wish they were easier. I think that everything is included to give you a good time with them. Okay, it's not going perfectly fine, but I feel like it's going mostly fine. Let's send you out for these two.
Under attack.
Okay. I do want to pull these back. And here I do want to ensure... It looks like there is no way off the plateau over there. But I do want to ensure that I'm not having... that I'm not suddenly having a ton of enemies in my back. I do need a bit more mass here. Luckily I can just pull some stuff off here. Still not exactly enough. Okay, that though did put me positive again. This put me decently positive. And let's get some T2 units out here. And that should give me enough push here that I can... Am I building you to an HQ? Yeah, I'm building another HQ. Okay, how much of this difference is because I am fighting a Cybran and not... good question. There is already some more T2 stuff coming in from my opponent as well. Why are you going up there when I'm zooming in?
Commander under attack.
That is still the commander sitting there, no? No, it is not. Okay, I do need to put some pressure on here.
System enabled. Commander under attack.
Okay. Do need some T2 stuff coming in.
Commander under attack.
And he is also already starting to build a strong amount
Under
of
attack.
T2 artillery. Damn it. I finished another one.
Commander under attack.
We'll fight you to our last breath.
Yes, you probably will.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
I do not really have enough anti-air around here.
Commander under
barely positive again here. I need more mass coming in.
Commander under attack.
And I'm getting hammered by a lot of T2 units here. And that was... oh, bloody hell, okay. That is why...
Commander under attack.
okay, that's going to... he is grinding me down. He is still grinding me down despite my best efforts. Yeah, no, I need to retreat here. Any new missile can and will kill me.
Commander under attack.
Not enough anti-air, and I'm going to be pushed far too much air into the corner. Ooh. Okay. Probably going to be keeping up for 7 minutes, and then... not even. 3 minutes, and there he starts to just... almost double my mass income. 31,000. I wasted a bit more energy. Energy is not the big factor. But double my mass income, that is not something I can just close the gap on. Yeah. Probably the same issue as before. My problem of not being able to keep up production volume and then production quality. Finding the balance and how hard you can econ versus how hard your defense and attack needs to be, because that is a lot more similar here. It's much harder, at least from what I'm seeing from my games today. Welcome back, Thraig. I'd really want to find a match. Let's see if I can get one. I don't think there's much pretense in studying the replay against the AI at the moment. I pushed in nicely. I managed to defend a lot better. I missed the point where I needed to switch to T2 units. Switched a little bit late, and then my volume versus quality couldn't keep up, and he squeezed me slowly down. Because you do need to get attritional front lines where you can... yeah, and trying to move those front lines is both your defense and your offense. Unlike most other RTS games, I want to say. Something like Dawn of War, you can much more easily establish a defensive line. Although there are of course some races that play against that. The Tau with their very long range vehicles make it a lot harder for the opponent to really have a defensive line that can remain static. The Tau are not easy to play. I think one of what makes them weird to play is that they have very few units that can really go into... Okay, that is not true. The Kroot can go into melee, but depending on what path you choose, you're not going to be doing much melee. I think that the... Okay. Let's take Space Marines. Space Marines, the basic Space Marine squad is a ranged unit, but it can get by in melee if it has to. And the Tau cannot. It's either they're good in melee or they're good at range. There's no middle ground. A unit that is somewhat good at melee, but decent at range. And Tau units are a lot less harder to customize to what you need. I think that's also an issue where Space Marine squads, you can get the heavy bolter, you can get plasmas, you can get flamethrowers, and I think that for the Space Marines, they do have melters for their normal squads. Not necessarily something great to have there. Eldar are very rock, paper, scissory. That is not wrong. Against an AI, I fare fairly fine. Against an opponent, I probably get rolled. They're just... I'm lacking in the scouting capacities for those games. Basically, for any game that isn't StarCraft, I have a very hard time to say what an opponent can do, and from that point, that is just something that I never really got a feeling for. Hey, but that landed me another match. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there he's loading in. Let's see. Okay. Fighting deluxe chess here, I'm guessing that I'll be steamrolled. Okay. No reclaim on the map either. Let's do like this. You're not completely wrong. That can be a way that they win. I find that if I play Tau, I need a huge volume of fire, long-ranged fire, to just hammer my opponent with. Hop, 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 hop. Okay. And then indeed it is going to be a painfully slow grind ahead. Okay, let's put a few P-gens up here. I have very little idea of how to play this map, so I hope my opponent will allow me some insight into that. Okay, that's a +3. You taking over gives me a -7. Okay. Give me a few more. Okay. That is working out. I'll bring the command a bit forward here. To be fair, it's not the fastest I've ever had. Okay, there is some stuff about I do want to know what he built in the basics. Okay. I'll be sending a few of you out to just harass my opponent. Okay, one land factory so far, a second on the way. I do have a second one built. Send me some units down. I think I have enough to get myself a third one up. You come down over here. Let's do it like this. Okay. Okay, that's a gone. That's a goner. Let's see if I can't blow that factory up here.
Commander under attack.
Do, 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 do.
Commander under attack.
Okay, I am actually looking pretty good here. I need more factories, and I do want to start
Commander under attack.
pushing up here. You come down, get me these two. Okay, he's not liking that. Get me another one here. I need more power.
Commander under attack.
Okay, I do need to pull back here.
Commander under attack.
And I do want to be pushing more down here. Yeah, okay. Let me get some stuff over.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
Okay, I'm pushing too far up here. He does have a good idea of what I am doing at the moment. Let's add some anti-air in. And we're building another factory that I am going to... Let's send a few things over here. Do, 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 do. Okay, do I have engineers more somewhere? Do, do, do. Let's upgrade... No, let's not upgrade you. Oh, I'm bad. Okay, that's the commander. If I go you, that's close. But close is okay at the moment.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
Okay. Okay, that's one dead commander on the opponent's side. Nothing he can do. Okay. Okay, good game. That was a harder game than the one before. He does have quite a little bit more elo than my last opponent. I did win this particular one, yeah. His commander is exploding here, and mine survived over here. This is a victory. I do want to see the replay for this, because this was a lot closer. And according to the charts, at least, he was advantaged for the longest time. Okay, I wasted almost 2,000 mass. He did not. So we are pretty even, actually, on mass used. A good game overall, though. And now that you say it, I'm realizing it doesn't show very well whether you have won or lost. StarCraft does show you won in pretty big font, either when you remove the last building of your opponent or when your opponent gives up, which is much more likely to happen than your opponent forcing you to kill everything. That's actually a pretty rude thing to do in StarCraft, and I'd say fair enough in Supreme Commander as well. Let's have a look at him. Mass in storage. I don't think there'll be too much difference here in the beginning. Fair enough. I think that's an idea on a map like this, where there is absolutely no reclaim. Build your first mechs before the power for the factory. I do want to bet that he is not going to be running quite as dry. No, he's actually running drier than I am. Earlier than I am. Okay, he got mass blocked quite a lot more in the beginning here. Partially because he's pushing that one immediately. And now he's reversed it again. Okay. Would I have been able with time to keep it up? He is sending his commander out here quite quickly. But we're getting into the middle at about the same time. I had forgotten about that, so... Not too shabby. I'm coming a little bit late for this particular factory, though. Okay. Let's have a quick look. 60 to 55. Currently he does. Which usually is not a... It's not a terrible idea, defender's advantage and all of that. But space works quite differently in Supreme Commander than it does in other RTS. Actually, maybe funnily, the closest to how you need to work with space in Supreme Commander, and that is something I've learned over the last few months, is actually a lot more similar to Dawn of War 1 and its expansions. Because the mexes work like the requisition points or the strategic points in that game, where you need them to generate one of your most important resources, with the caveat that defense and the units for most races in Dawn of War are actually a lot more defensive. But if you do not go out at all, you're going to be rolled there as well. Although building, you have a longer build-up phase. It's the most similar analogy that comes to mind right now, except of course Total Annihilation, which is a much more direct comparison in how the economy works. But he is afraid of what I might be able to do. And I had some units behind him here, while not too bad. And I think that was a very good pullback. And then I needed to get rid of his units here. This hill cost me some hull points here before I actually switched over. That is 3 factories, 4 factories, 5 factories versus my 4. Okay, I have a lot more in storage, but I am also pulling in 10 master tick more than he does. Do I deal with that? I have to. He's not moved. Oh, okay. I see what is... I'd be very surprised. No. He does keep them as a wall here rather than pushing. So that is something he should have done here. He should have pushed up with these units. You need space. And space is your defense. As I said before, you want to establish front lines. Like this is a front line for me. These I pulled back from attacking here, and I don't know what to do with them. But they're aggressively forward, because if I pull them back, all of this is terrain that I can give up without any loss to myself. And as such, he should have pushed forward here, gotten those mexes here. Try to capture space from your opponent. If there are units here, then that's it. If you like, I'm pushing in with quite a big attack here. Maybe you need to rotate them over, but I'd actually say he should have pushed up here. He's pushing over now. That's better, but pushing up. So why is pushing up here? Can't really... I wish I had some way of painting arrows on here. Maybe I need to see if I can find an overlay for that. If he had pushed up here, he doesn't know what I have here, I think. Yeah, he has no idea what I have here. But what he does know is this push here. He saw that one coming. And he does know that my main reinforcement axis is here. So much more likely to catch me off guard going up here rather than trying to come this way. On the other hand, he does know about this attack, and maybe he was hoping to cut off reinforcements to it or something. Not exactly clear. Naval units, that's land units. And yeah, he has some air units, all scouts, which isn't bad, but if we take a quick look over at what I know about, the one big important thing that I don't see at the moment is this group of units he's pushing over here. And as I said, there's this push would have done a lot more damage because I would have needed to get units over to try and stop him about here. So this group of units couldn't have reinforced down here later on. It would have been needed here, and I probably would have even needed to pull units from here. But he is pushing with his commander here as he sees my ACU standing here. We exchange some fire. I have about 1,000 more, and as I see these ones incoming, I decided, yeah, okay, I do need to stop the upgrade, and I do need to be more aggressive. And unfortunately for him, that meant that I pulled everything I had big in attack over, and this prong then also got caught out. And that meant he did not have a chance anymore with that many units swarming him. A much more even match, though, than the one from before. I think I need to go in again. I didn't take anything out for myself that I can improve. And I can't rewind. That is something so useful. If you can rewind a replay. Yeah, you need a lot more. You need more memory for it, since you need to take snapshots at certain moments that you can jump back to because of how an RTS engine works. But you can't see it now. But as I was saying, space is basically your defense here, and I could pull back here, and pulling his commander along allowed me to destroy him here. So we started the fight over here ish, and I managed to pull back with my units. I'm getting into his back and so on. Space and room to withdraw is basically your defense budget here. You watched the intro to the Hunger Games. It is very gory. I'm not sure if it had been better had they been less gory. There is a certain amount of atmosphere that the movies and the books wanted to create. Would you like to exit? Yes. Why did my ACU explode there in the end? Okay. Now I need to take a second look at this. That is fine. That is, I'm not, but I think what I was trying to say is that the Hunger Games movies are going for a very dark tone. And as such, yeah. No, movies are different from games, and you can have preferences for one or the other, definitely, without there being much. Okay, I'm still wanting to take a look at what I can improve. I think one of my big ones, more factories. Yeah, again, I'm that's absolutely fine. Oh, okay, that's. Should I have built that maybe more back? How many engineers do I have? Sorry, give me a moment and I'll come back to 4. Okay, I still have 4. But I could have used a few more. Keep engineers up. Basically is I think what I'm going to be putting as the point I want to improve at for the next game. And yeah, so disliking realistic blood and gore, but not having a problem with fantasy, quote unquote, blood and gore. I mean, yeah, I don't think that that is something that you especially need to. I can understand the difference, and I can understand why one you'd like and the other you wouldn't. Guess it doesn't get too realistic, so that's a good question. Is it also partially the amount of gore you have a problem with, Tira? So something like Doom would be too much, even though it is not very realistic? Or is that already again so over the top that you don't feel that you feel like that's not a particular issue? Amount of gore. So Doom would be over the top and you don't like it, I'd be guessing. And yeah, no, I mean, those are, everybody feels differently about that, and that's okay. Fallout is also already pushing the limits for you. Fair, absolutely. Yeah, everybody feels it differently about these things, and I think that's fair. As such, just people need to be able to accept these things. Fair enough. That is something else. I was asking about the gore and how the gore is displayed here mainly, rather than but shooters usually being more gory than other games. I can understand why that also would influence you in that. The new Fallouts are definitely shooters fair. So, and there was something here I wanted to discuss. Space being your defense. So, from here to here is an area that I can give up without losing anything. They are pushing in here. That is something, and that's why I have units moving over here already. I need to stop them before it's too late, but I can pull all this way back while shooting the mantis that are coming in here. In a defensive maneuver. Fair enough. I do think that the lore in and of itself is actually quite interesting. It's quite interesting and well made for Fallout. I would say though that it is quite over the top. But then again, that is something you can enjoy. And I should have been outside of the radius? Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing attacking my command and replay over. Okay, weird. Why did it explode last time? Probably since I was faster and jumping over that point, and then the commander, like the replay was over, no more commander on the field, and it exploded the commander for me. I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm going to be searching for one more match for today. Let's see if I get lucky. You might find that you're going to be enjoying the older, like Fallout 1 and 2. They are not shooters, they are CRPGs. That might be more for you, Tira, if you want to play a Fallout game. No, I was too far, and in the second time I was looking through it, that was definitely not the case. I was definitely far enough not to get damaged by the nuke there, at least not badly enough to explode. I think it was something that I had a very high speed, I jumped over, like it was trying to read ahead of the replay finished command, and then exploded the ACU because it had read. It's a guess. It's a guess. I don't know if that is actually the case or not. But it wasn't a wave of planes or something that I missed. It was more of a bug type thing happening here. And yeah, as I said, Fallout has very interesting lore. A lot of that beginning gets established in 1 and 2. I'm guessing that you are looking very much forward to your Applebee's. Yeah. My favorite Fallout is Fallout New Vegas. I am hoping that they're going to do it justice in the remake, similar to what they did with Oblivion. Are you going to be ordering menu, or does, again, I don't know all that much about American restaurant chains, and I don't think I have an Applebee's near me. Is that ordering from a menu, or is that a buffet you have? But I can understand that if you are looking forward to a restaurant, that you want to be plenty hungry for it. I'm guessing that I'm not going to be finding a match here. So that was Comet Catcher we were playing on last. The OM cheeseburger, is that, since you're saying if they're still doing it, is that a seasonal item? Or is that I don't know, I'm just wondering, because the way you put it, it sounds like it would be a seasonal, limited time. So not exactly seasonal, but also not exactly but also not a standard item on the menu. Settings is quite a nice one, I have to say. It's a really well-made map. It's big though. 20 and 20 to 20, 1v1, those are big maps. The burger is looking really good from the trailers. Would you would you call them trailers? I would rather, if I saw something like that either on the internet or on TV, I would rather call it an advertisement. But there may be some difference for you there that I'm not quite privy to. A cheeseburger sitting in a skillet of melted cheese. Ooh, okay. I'd definitely have problems getting that right. I'd overcook the cheese. Very much so. Which then again makes it crispy, so that is not necessarily bad to have a crispy bottom of cheese in the skillet. But crispy cheese is not as easily soaked up, or not soaked up anymore at all anymore. So that is then something you definitely need to take into account. If I'm not finding a match in this round, I might want to try this. I might want to take a look at this map just because it looks interesting. Getaway and Rose. They give you dinner rolls to soak up the cheesy goodness after eating the burger. Dinner rolls? Bread rolls? Or am I completely misinterpreting this? What else would I want to soak up cheesy goodness with? Honestly, bread. Bread is the... Okay, bread rolls. Because I was thinking, and it's basically the only thing that really comes to mind I would want to use for that. Bread rolls, or like dinner rolls being a specific form of bread rolls, that is more of an American thing. Okay, let me have a look at the map. Ooh, interesting. You can play this is you can play this as a 4v4. I think it's not going to go quite as good as Settons. I think Settons is still a more interesting map. especially because these are not connected directly here. So dinner rolls as a form of bread rolls, are an American thing. Fair enough. Yeah. But I am I can very much understand that you well, let me put it like that. I don't know the differences really between dinner rolls and a normal bread roll then, but I don't think that that is that is a necessary thing in order to be able to. Okay, that is that one. That is that one. Okay. They don't have a crust? Is that the difference? They don't have a crust then? Okay, I feel like I have switched about something here. For some reason, this is set as a lot higher than I would have expected. Okay, there is some confusion because for me, white bread is a wheat bread, or a mainly wheat bread. Most others tend to become a lot browner. My brain somehow doesn't get the difference between white bread and wheat bread. Fair enough. I'm still not exactly. It's probably a me thing where I don't quite get it. Okay, there is a small amount here of reclaim. Whole wheat bread is more crumbly in America too. Okay, I don't have crumbly as a part of being whole wheat bread in my. What? Wheat bread doesn't need to crumble? I mean, it can, depending on what you do with it, but it's not something that I see as standard, basically. Let's pull this one over here. Okay, I need more energy here. Yeah, I do apologize. There's just something in my head that goes like... Yeah, I think that is unfortunately indeed the case. Let's have a quick look. Do we have... We have land factories so far, so he's not going to be a very quick threat to me. For whatever reason. Okay, it's you, isn't it? 120. Yeah, okay, that's too much energy. Did you shoot my scout down? He did shoot my scout down. Probably this factory is also not making things a lot better. Yeah, that is... It keeps for a lot longer though. That is a difference. I'm not sure if that's a good difference or something, a good enough difference. I say no personally. Okay, I should be reclaiming here. Yeah, I don't want to say that our bread is a very prone to mold, but it gets hard and then it is unappetizing for both humans and mold. If that makes sense. If the bread is too dry, it can't mold. Yeah. But as I said, I think my bread is hard in a day or 3. Oh, no, not... In 2 or 3 days, it's starting to be rock hard and... basically making it inedible. Okay, let me run this around here. And the 2 of you are going to be building interceptors, interceptor scout for me. Welcome back, Thraig. Okay, so that is... Our microwave does not do a good job of that. Okay. They are bringing in land troops here. Enjoy your tea, Thraig. Okay, give me 4. I'll see if I can't interrupt their troop ferrying here. I absolutely want a radar. So far, it's actually looking fine here. This had to be AI. Unfortunately, I did not find another match today. But having had 2 matches, that is already something I have to say I'm quite happy with. I need to get some tanks out here. Let's have them come up here. Ooh. Yeah, as soon as it gets wet, it can mold very, very quickly. Okay, let's stop you here. Because keeping you from expanding is more important than killing what my opponent already has. And I'm going to go currently all in on that is definitely unfortunate. But then again, there's not much you can do then there. If the bread is becoming moldy, there is not any keeping it anymore as well. Okay, let's build another air factory, which will immediately upgrade. I do want a little bit more usage here. Let's take another power here. Let's upgrade this one as well. Okay, that's a lot more expensive than I was expecting, power-wise. Okay, that was coming in too aggressively. Get me my scouts here. And one actually I want over here. Yeah, indeed, I do think that there is not much that could have been done to avoid it, to a degree, at least. Okay, there are U-boats here. And he landed something here. Okay, no, he's just taking me apart now. That wasn't a great match. Yeah, I would have been pretty chill about that as well. I wouldn't even expect the bread to be edible after 2 days even. Again, my bread goes hard pretty quickly. Luckily, I do go through it in a decent amount of time. Let's try that one again. Same map, same opponent. I'm going to see how I'll be doing. The bread that I usually buy has, well, depending on what bread I'm buying, there can be quite a few ingredients because it's a mixed corn bread, so that is already getting a lot of different types of flour and so on that you need for it, but very few dough conditioners in the bread that I am getting. And yeah, there's a difference in philosophy, and to a certain degree, I don't think there is an issue with that idea, with that difference in ideas. But after a certain point, it becomes too much. Oh yeah, the sugar. I know the statistics for Wonder Bread, where
I will not be defeated by the likes of you.
okay, the bread that I buy has like 0 added sugars at all. There's a lot of starches in there. That's why the general sugar content, like it's not sugar. It's not, or we don't call it a sugar content. And I'm getting distracted a little bit here. Or is it, and I'm just going gaga now? Yeah, but unfortunately, American bread is super, super sweet in comparison. Fair enough, but even then, we don't have like 1,000,000 grams of salt in there. It is just more than in the equivalent loaf from another place. Which again, to a certain degree, I don't think is too bad. Sure. Let's send one out here. Let's do something like this. Let's build one like this. Okay. Suddenly getting badly power blocked here. Okay, at least we're around 0. Yeah, the transport here is so expensive, energy-wise. Okay. Well, we can arrange a ferry point over to here. No, you know what? I'm going to do the ferry point like that immediately. Okay. Let's have another land factory come in. No. Not a land factory. I need at least some naval facilities at the moment as well. Seriously, you're going over as well. That is going to be requested for helping out. You are going to fetch myself the mexes over here. You are going to come over here, and you are coming here. Okay, let's send over some more stuff, and let's build some more fighters like this, and I'm going to be putting up no more naval capacity. So, my enemy should be landing over here as long as I can prevent that. Should be able to get myself this island. And okay, that's looking fine. Not exactly what I would want to do, I'm guessing, but it's looking okay. Let's do another naval facility here. I don't exactly know. Okay, he is very defensive here. That is going to be an issue. But I do have some artillery over here that should be able to deal with it. Let's go kill this one first. And we'll build another one. There we go. Okay, he has his commander over on this island. Okay, that is going to be... That's going to make it harder to push him off here. Stop, get me bombers. Okay, unfortunately I have 0 vision at the moment. Fair enough. I am unsure exactly if size is going to be a big indicator, a big difference indicator. I know that my loaves that I am buying are about half a kilo. Okay, I have a few more bombers to throw out the commander here. Okay. I was already close enough, and there's more land factories here. Yep, that would work. Not looking terrible at the moment, but these are annoying me. Plus the fact that they probably went over the entirety of the map already. And there is some static defense there. Okay, let's get T2 going here. You stop that. And I'm getting overrun. Okay. Yeah, no, not winning this anymore. Yep, so the AI I'm currently practicing against is harder than the human opponents I managed to fight today. And I am still improving, and that is the thing that I wanted to do here. I'll keep switching. I think for now, I'm going to make at least one more switching round. So, StarCraft next week, Supreme Commander again in 2 weeks, and then we'll see. But it's been good. I had 2 matches against human opponents I am very happy with. Maybe a banana early in the morning would have been a better idea. I don't know. I know that if I want to go hungry to a restaurant, having a little bit of food early helps me not to be so gluttonous that that I immediately eat so much that I overeat very quickly. Oh, you didn't have any bananas left. That is, of course, then going to make my suggestion impossible. But how it may be, I hope that you are going to be very much enjoying your trip to Applebee's, Tira. And for everybody else, we are getting to the end of stream again. It's a few minutes before I usually end. I usually tend to end after, like, start ending the stream after my official end time. But absolutely, and I hope that you're going to be enjoying your sandwiches and your bananas. I'll be going over through my schedule quickly, and then we'll be raiding out for tonight. As always, if you do have a suggestion for somebody to raid out to, please let me know, and I'll be taking it under consideration as always. So tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and next Monday, I'll be streaming my usual times. Saturday is working out. It may be the weekend afterwards where I need to, where I won't be able to do one of the streams. I'll let you know as it comes up, and we'll see. But until then, for tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, and Monday, sorry, I'll be streaming my usual time from 13 to 18 o'clock Central European Summer Time, or from 7 to 12 Eastern Daylight Time. Friday, so tomorrow and Monday, I'll be continuing with Persona 3 Portable, and on the weekend, it's Monster Hunter time, starting out in Monster Hunter GU for both days. If you have any ideas of a monster you might want to see that is not in there, let me know. I might start out in a different game then. But GU for now it is. And then next Thursday going to be from 15 to 18 o'clock, or from 9 to, so Central European Summer Time, or from 9 to 12 Eastern Daylight Time. Playing more StarCraft. I'll be 1.5 hours in the campaign, 1.5 hours on the ladder. Expecting to lose quite a few more matches there as well. Especially if I need to switch over to the Korean ladder, but I hope that I'll be getting at least as many matches as I could today, especially since the AI is not something you can really practice against. So we have a suggestion from Tira. It's also a Ruby. She is playing Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, and I don't see why I shouldn't be raiding out to her. I have not seen her before, so I'll let myself be surprised by Tira's suggestion, and I hope that it's going to be nice. And as always with the raid, please be nice, please be kind, and I hope that you're going to be enjoying her stream as much as you did mine. Yeah, coming to the end. Last time I overran the end by quite a bit, so I'll try not to do that today. Thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun enough that I'm going to keep Supreme Commander in for now. But yeah, Sakura for next week. For all of you RTS enthusiasts. But I'm starting to get on a tangent again. Thank you everybody for having come. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, guess that's basically all that I have that's left for me to say. Is going to wish you a lovely rest of your Thursday, and please have a fantastic time until we do see each other again, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to be wishing you a fantastic time. And yeah, with that, all that is left from my side is again, thank you very much. I hope you have a great rest of your time. And until next time, goodbye.
It's also Ruby is now following.